Oh honey, if you thought that Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin's relationship was all love and hip-hop, get ready because this latest drama has the internet in a frenzy. Reports are coming in that Jim Jones was just caught in the middle of a shocking public altercation with Chrissy Lampkin, and the details are crazy, according to eyewitnesses. It started with what appeared to be a straightforward argument, but things quickly went from 0 to 100, and let's just say Jim's reputation is barely hanging on. According to sources, Jim lost all control, and what happened next was worse than you might have imagined. Chrissy was left shaken, the crowd was in disbelief, and social media was rocked. Fans are in full meltdown mode, and people are demanding answers. Did Jim Jones really go too far this time? What caused his explosive outburst? Most importantly, who is the mysterious person at the center of all this drama? Insiders are spilling tea that could ruin Jim's entire career, so grab your. Alright, buckle up because this scandal is just getting started. If you thought the relationship between Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin was messy before, you haven't seen anything yet. This latest scandal is so outrageous that even producers of hip-hop and love songs are likely frantically trying to come up with a way to hide it. The details, baby, are messy. It all began at a private event last Saturday night when Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin appeared together, holding hands and grinning, as if everything was fine. Fans were taken aback because, let's face it, Jim and Chrissy's relationship has been rocky. For years, Jim and Chrissy have been together, but during that time, Chrissy has supported him through all of the rumors of cheating, money problems, and some dubious business dealings. However, this time, Chrissy may have had enough. According to eyewitnesses, Jim and Chrissy were sitting in the VIP area of an upscale apartment. Apparently, Jim had been drinking a bit too much, which isn't exactly out of character for him, but this time it hit differently. According to a source at the club, Jim was acting strangely all night long, pacing back and forth and appearing agitated. Chrissy kept trying to calm him down, but he was refusing to have it, and then BM happened. According to witnesses, Jim pulled his phone away from Chrissy and began yelling. Chrissy tried to remain composed because, as you may know, she doesn't like to cause a scene, but whatever he saw in the text message apparently triggered him. Chrissy then leaned over to ask what was wrong, and that's when things got heated. Jim refused to let it go. According to a second source who was sitting close by, Chrissy kept telling him to calm down and not come here, but Jim was pissed off and began pointing at her while his voice grew louder. At that point, those around them noticed that the music was still playing, but they could see people turning to face the VIP area. One witness claimed that when things really got out of hand, Jim got up and was directly in Chrissy's face. It appeared as though he was going to grab her arm, but Chrissy pushed him away and told him not to, but Jim did it. Oh honey. Jim then allegedly grabbed Chrissy's arm and attempted to drag her out of the room, but Chrissy yanked her away. The entire club froze when he said, "Let go of me and y'all." A mystery man who was close to the couple reportedly jumped in to separate them. According to sources, this mystery man has been a close friend of Jim's for years, but the way he entered the room almost seemed to be an attempt to protect Chrissy more than Jim. A witness described the incident. This man intervened and told Jim to calm down because he was doing too much, but Jim pushed him back and told him to stop. At this point, security had to intervene because Chrissy was trembling and her face was red, and it was obvious she was fighting back tears. Security escorted Jim out of the club, but not before he gave the mystery man one last shove and yelled, "I'm not sure what the asterisk you're referring to." And Chrissy, oh honey, stay behind and look shaken. According to one source, Chrissy sat down and put her head in her hands. People approached her to ask how she was doing, but she remained silent and just sat there. This is where it gets even messier. According to sources close to the situation, Jim was furious because his phone was exploding with messages from an unknown woman whom Chrissy had suspected Jim had been talking to for months. Yes, there have been rumors of Jim cheating for years, but Chrissy has always stood up for him, even when people said Jim was cheating. Chrissy dismissed it while out in Miami with an unidentified girl, but this time she media wasted no time in pinning this down. A video of the altercation between Jim and Chrissy was already making the rounds online. Someone in the club had recorded the entire thing and uploaded it to TikTok with the caption, "Jim Jones is out on Chrissy in the club. This man is done." The comments were so nasty. Chrissy had better leave him now. Chrissy displaying herself if she stays with him at this point. And the most bizarre thing is that neither Chrissy nor Jim has spoken about the incident at all. Jim's Instagram is silent, and Chrissy's stories are empty. But as you are all aware, silence speaks louder than words. To make matters worse, the mystery man who stepped in to defend Chrissy, he may not be just a friend. According to sources, he has been with Chrissy for a long time, and people are beginning to question whether she has moved on. According to a source close to the couple, Chrissy and Jim have been dating for months. She has been relying on him for emotional support, and Jim is aware of it. Jim's public outburst at Chrissy isn't just anger, it's fear that she might be done with him forever. The real question now is what will happen because, from what I've heard, Chrissy isn't backing down this time. A source close to Chrissy said that she's exhausted and has experienced enough with Jim. The breaking point has finally arrived, and Jim, he's in damage control mode. Rumor has it that he has already contacted some of his industry contacts in an attempt to hide the story, but the age footage is already public, so there's no turning back from this one. The fallout from this scandal is going to rock the entire love world, I can assure you, and the hip-hop universe, because if Chrissy disappears permanently and the rumors about this mysterious man are accurate, Jim could lose everything. Believe me though, because this is far from over, because what comes next is going to get messier. If you thought part 1 was messy, baby, we're just getting started because the fallout from Jim Jones' explosive outburst is much worse than we initially believed. Fans are taking sides on the internet, and judging by Chrissy's current behavior, it appears that Jim may have just fumbled the bag and the woman. So where did we leave off? Oh, right, Jim was being dragged out of the club by security after attempting to pulling Chrissy out of the room in front of a crowded room, left her sitting there feeling ashamed, shaking, and humiliated. But let's talk about what happened next because, honey, that's where the real drama begins. Let's examine what we currently know from sources close to the couple, and by close, I mean close, that have confirmed that Jim lost his temper over those texts, not Chrissy's response. A very reliable insider claims that Jim had been texting an unidentified woman for months, and this isn't just a casual side chick situation. We're talking about flirtatious messages, intimate conversations, and plain old emotional stuff. Cheating. A source disclosed that Chrissy had been suspecting for some time, but Jim consistently denied it. However, when those messages appeared on his phone, Chrissy witnessed them firsthand, and the content was nasty. We were exchanging late-night texts like, "I miss you. When are you coming to see me?" And don't have to know, "Excuse me." The worst part is that, according to sources, this mystery woman isn't just any random girl. She is allegedly connected to someone else in the industry. That's right, this is going to become a full-blown industry scandal. But the worst part is that Chrissy wasn't even going to disclose it. It seems like she was attempting to handle the matter in private. Jim's, that's what blew this whole thing open. According to an insider close to Chrissy, she was calm at first and was trying to act mature. But when Jim started yelling and acting strange, that's when Chrissy realized he was guilty. Don't you know that this isn't even the first time Jim has been involved in cheating rumors? When Jim was seen with that Instagram model in Miami back in 2019, Chrissy went left and essentially told everyone to shut up. No, she's not playing that game this time. When the video went viral on social media, the internet went crazy, and by the time it appeared on blogs, hashtags like #ProtectChrissy and #JimJonesExposed were already trending on Twitter, and the comments were harsh, saying that Chrissy should leave him permanently this time. Jim is looking foolish. How do you treat the woman who held you down like this? Chrissy should take him for what he is worth. Oh, and the celebrities began weighing in. Cardi B hopped on Twitter and posted some of it. You really don't deserve the women you have. Sandman Tamar Braxton added that Chrissy is superior to me because I would have handled that situation very differently. Reply Mom, who typically avoids drama of this nature, liked the tweet that claimed that Jim has been acting funny for years and that Chrissy deserves better. And that's not all. Because social media detectives never stop investigating, fans began looking into Jim's social media activity right away. Let's just say that Jim hasn't been acting like a faithful man. A screenshot of Jim liking and commenting on images of a specific woman appeared. And guess what? That's right, the same woman who claimed to have sent those messages. And guess what else they discovered? A recent direct message exchange in which Jim flirted with her, calling her charming and using heart eye emojis as if he wasn't already engaged. One fan shared screenshots of the exchange, writing, "Jim has been moving irresponsibly. Chrissy just caught him, and Jim, oh honey, he's not helping himself." Because rather than keeping quiet and allowing the tension to subside, Jim took to Instagram and shared this mysterious message. "You don't know the full extent of it, so pardon me, but we don't know Jim." The real bombshell, however, came when the unidentified man who broke up the altercation spoke up. You recall how we discussed that man who intervened between Jim and the mystery man has reportedly been close to Chrissy for years and has witnessed Jim's treatment of her behind the scenes. Based on what I've heard, he is fed up with Jim's treatment of her. According to an insider, the mystery man has been telling Chrissy for years that Jim isn't the right man for her. After the incident, the mystery man allegedly told Chrissy, "You don't deserve this, you deserve better." And the way she looked at him afterwards, oh honey, there's definitely something there. Chrissy wasn't prepared to hear the warning, but it now appears that he may be stepping up in more ways than one. Chrissy isn't the kind to switch up relationships, but there is a connection between her and this person, and Jim isn't happy about it, according to sources. After the incident, Jim confronted the mystery man, and things got heated. According to an insider, Jim asked him to back off, saying, "That's my woman," then pretend that it didn't happen. Then the question is Chrissy really done with Jim this time? Based on what I've heard, Chrissy is finally beginning to pay attention to those around her, and the fact that this mysterious man intervened when Jim was acting out may have been the wake-up call she needed. Jim is also spiraling, and he has been spotted in New York. He's been calling Chrissy constantly to apologize, but she's not picking up. And the craziest part is that rumors are that Chrissy has already been speaking with her lawyer. If what I'm hearing is accurate, Jim might not only lose Chrissy, but he might also lose his money because the fact that Chrissy's name appears on some of Jim's business agreements, such as the house they share, and that if she leaves, Jim might be left without a place to live. But the fact that she hasn't said anything yet on social media speaks louder than anything she could say. Yes, according to her lawyer, things are not looking good for Jim and the fallout from this. Oh honey, things are going to get even messier because if Chrissy files a lawsuit and the mystery woman comes forward, Jim's career and reputation could be permanently destroyed. Trust me, you're not prepared for what's coming next, so stay locked in. Part 3, baby, is going to go nuclear. If you thought Part 2 was crazy, wait until you hear what happened next. Jim Jones' outburst is spiraling out of control, and the damage is worse than anyone could have imagined. His reputation, career, and even relationship are all on the verge of collapse. And Chrissy, where did we leave off, honey? Given the way she's acting right now, let's just assume that Jim may have finally pushed her too far. Oh, right, Jim was in a downward spiral after being exposed for those shady texts and that public altercation with Chrissy at the club. The mystery man had already intervened to protect Chrissy and Jim, but he didn't take that being said. Let's discuss what transpired next because, believe me, it's messier than you might imagine. Apparently, Jim didn't just leave the club quietly after that incident. Oh no, he was furious. Rumor has it that Jim left the club right away and went straight to a nearby hotel, and baby, he wasn't lonely. I'm not claiming it was the mystery woman, but the receipts show that Jim left the club with a woman who appeared suspiciously similar to the person he had been texting. The insider revealed the tea. wasn't Chrissy. Let's just say they weren't exactly trying to hide it. Excuse me. According to a person familiar with the matter, Jim wasn't even attempting to be discreet about it. He left her hand in his. Chrissy wasn't even out of the club yet, and he was already moving on. And guess what? Someone caught it on camera. By the following morning, pictures of Jim leaving the hotel with this mystery woman were everywhere. On TMZ, the shade room in Hollywood was unlocked, and everyone had the story. One fan shared the photo on social media with the caption, "Jim couldn't wait 2 days before embarrassing Chrissy again." The comments were savage, and Chrissy just needs to cut him off for good because she deserves better. Jim isn't even trying to hide it. Now, how are you going to cheat and then have the audacity to be caught? Well, honey, it got worse because guess what? The mystery woman went live on Instagram, sipping a glass of wine and appearing totally unconcerned. When the comments began to pour in, they had questions about whether she smirked and said, "You guys should shut up. I'm not the one who made vows. That's his problem." Excuse me, but you're telling me that this woman knows Jim was out there disrespecting Chrissy, and she's just laughing about it. Oh, the audacity. Jim, he made things worse by refusing to deny it. Instead of expressing regret, Jim took to Instagram the following day and shared a photo of himself with the caption, "It's what it is, honey." Chrissy also noticed as she posted a mysterious message on her Instagram story a few hours later, saying, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them." After Jim's little stunt, the mystery man called Chrissy and told her, "You don't have to deal with this anymore." But apparently Chrissy listened because guess what Chrissy did? This was the first time, baby. But let me tell you, it didn't end there. Oh, he wasn't going to sit back and let Jim get away with this. She then went to her lawyer. And sure enough, Chrissy was seen outside the office of a well-known lawyer in New York City. This isn't just any lawyer, though. This is one of the most vicious divorce lawyers in the industry. According to one court, Jim might lose not only his relationship, but also his career, money, and reputation. What's even crazier is that Chrissy hasn't said a word yet, according to a source close to her, and she's letting Jim hang himself right now because she knows that anything he says will only make him appear worse. Jim is still acting recklessly. Just last night, he was seen at another club looking messy and inebriated, and guess what? He was with that same mystery woman. Therefore, the question now isn't whether Chrissy will leave him, but rather how much Jim will regret it when she does. And when Chrissy makes her move, honey, it's going to be the end of Jim Jones. So the only question now is whether Jim will live through this fallout, or if this is the beginning of Jim and Chrissy's demise. Trust me, you already know that I'll be back with all the updates because this story is far from over. So the only question now is whether this is truly the end for Jim and Chrissy after years of supporting his side, supporting him, and keeping him in check. Is Chrissy finally leaving for good? And if she does, what will happen to Jim? Because let's face it, without Chrissy, Jim's career and reputation might not survive this one. However, Chris isn't saying a word right now, and her silence speaks louder than anything she could say if Chrissy the fact that Jim is still out there acting recklessly with the mystery woman on his arm, baby, it's like he's trying to destroy himself. And the fans, they've already chosen social media as a side gig, may lose not just his relationship, but also his money, house, and reputation in the industry. I completely support Chrissy, and if she chooses to take Jim to court, you can be sure that everyone will be watching. However, what about the mystery man? Is he merely a friend, or is there more to that story? The question now is, will Chrissy remain silent and allow Jim to fail, or is she going to make a power move that will please share your thoughts in the comment section? Are you more of a supporter of Chrissy or Jim? Should Chrissy forgive Jim, or should she just go on and never look back? This drama is far from done, so please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. So you should believe me when the following chapter, droplets of this tale,